What's up, everybody? Red Hat Pirates here with predictions on deck placements for Nationals for the One Piece TCG that is happening this weekend in Orlando. Before we kick off, if you want to support the channel, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. That is the best way to show your support. Hit that thumbs up button and let me know in the comments who you think is going to be crowned King of the Pirates this weekend. Alright, so we have a winner, second place, top 8, top 16. So we're going to predict the winner of it all, the second place of it all, and then who we think is going to round out the top 8 and top 16. So obviously some of these decks will be like, hey, this guy's going to have multiple 16s, 8s, seconds, and maybe he wins it, you know. So we'll let that be known as we're going through. We're going to start from the bottom here and give some, maybe a deck that I think is going to hit in the top 16 but not go farther than that. So here we go. Zero, I don't believe places. Obviously Dofi's going to hit there, but we're going to go and put him at his highest point and then mention where we think the amount of them is going to be. Ploofy, I think, goes higher. Smoker, I think, goes higher. And I know that's probably interesting. Nami, I don't think Nami goes top 16. I do think you'll probably see some top 32, maybe 1, 2. But with a heavy Dofi favored meta, she kind of gets X'd out. Katakuri is interesting. I don't know that we'll see one. That's no. Bello could, but with the amount of Dofi, she just struggles heavily. A possibility is a no. But do I think he will go higher than 16? I'm going to give Anel a top 16 for right now. And we'll go from there. I don't think multiple, but in a heavy Dofi favored meta, I believe Anel can definitely get some dubs. It just depends on who he sees. Bello, no. Yamato, don't think so. Reiju, don't think so. Bonnie, I think she probably places, but we'll hold. Lucci's interesting. Lucci could, but do I think he'll go higher? Maybe. Pudding is a no. Boa, possibly, but probably not. Marco, Vegapunk, Shanks. Shanks, obviously, I do think so, but I think he'll be higher as well. PB Luffy's interesting, but I don't think we see one that quite gets it there. Maybe, but I don't think so. Foxy, I do. In a heavy favored Dofi, again, like Anel, this guy he can destroy some Dofis. So we'll see if he can get there. I think he could possibly. I don't know that he'll go higher though, just because he's got some bad matchups. RP Luffy. Could we see some RP Luffy representation, and could we see a top 16 RP Luffy? It's possible. It is possible. I'm going to... Oh, no. I'm going to put him here for now. And then BY. Like, I feel like BY is good enough to get there, but it depends on the amount of Blackbeards we see and if the West is actually good with Blackbeard yet. Because it's a really good deck still. I'm going to put him there for now, and we'll continue to break this down. So we're going to go into top 8. So these are the decks that I think will definitely be there, but probably not first or second. Actually, we'll just put all of them there, and then we'll move first or second. So obviously, I think Dofi's in there. I think Ploofy's in there. I think Smoker's in there. I think Nobello. I think Bonnie, possibly. We're going to put Lucci right there and then decide if we want to top 16 him or top 8 him. Shanks, definitely. And we're going to throw Blackbeard there for now. I think we may have gotten a little bit better with Blackbeard by now. We'll see. Because he's really good into every matchup. He's favored into Ploofy. Even though it's I guess 50-50, but he's favored in the Plouffe if you know how to use him. The only matchup that he's not favored in is this Dofi matchup, and I don't think it's as bad as what people make it out to be, but we'll see. All right. So that's our top 8. So out of all of this, what do we think? What do we think comes second, and what do we think wins it all? So I think Dofi is going to be in the finals. I'm not saying he's second yet, but I think he's in the finals. And I think he plays Shanks. All right. So I think you're going to have Dofi versus Shanks. And who do I think wins that? I think Shanks is going to take it. This is actually a really good matchup. This is very winnable with Shanks. It's also very winnable with Dofi. It often comes down to those final swings, and do you have enough counter to get out of that final swing? And do you have enough counter to get out of that final swing? It's a bit of a dice roll in that regards. Dofi is on a clock, but at the same time, like Shanks can just get it sometimes. So I think that's what we're going to see. I think Dofi is going to represent 40 to 50% of the top 16. So I think you're going to get multiple Dofis. Probably we'll give him like 40%. And then I think you're going to get like a 20% representations of Shanks in the top 16. I think these two decks will, maybe 20. We'll say 40, 20, and probably the other 20 is probably right here. So you probably get 40, 20, 80. I'm sorry, 40, 60, 80. So that's like 80% representation I think you're going to get out of these three decks. And then do we get a Blackbeard in the top 8? I think we will. I think we'll probably get one. I don't think we'll get more than one. I just don't think the West is caught up. And there may be a select few players that are actually really good with Blackbeard. I don't think there's going to be many. I think Smoker does crack in. This is a very rogue but really good deck. It's not rogue, I wouldn't say, but I think it's very underrated in what it can do. It's got a good matchup into Dofi. It's got a good matchup into Shanks. I'm not positive on the Plouffe matchup that it has, but I feel like it can't be that bad. It's just a really good deck. Bonnie, there's always a Bonnie that squeaks in there and just gets it done. And I can see that happening again. So, and with that said, I think we're going to bump Lucci down to top 16. I don't think he's actually going to crack in here. I think Dofi just kind of beats him for the most part, as long as you know how to play against him and you know what you're doing. I think Dofi's slightly favored in that matchup. And then Blackbeard's obviously favored in that matchup. So I don't know that he quite makes it. I think Foxy does well and I don't think he gets in the top 8, but I can definitely see another top 16 placing from him. But as far as representation, I think you may get one Anel, one Foxy, one RP, possibly a BY, and probably one Lucci as far as top 16 goes. You may see more of these guys in top 32, but you're going to see more of these in top 32 than anyone. You're going to see this more in top 16 and 32 than anyone else, than any other decks, obviously. I think we only get one of these, one of these, one of these. So these are like one-ofs. I think I messed up my math a bit with the percentages, but because, if all of these make it as a one-of, then that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that'd be 8 decks. They probably don't then. I don't know. Maybe they do. But I think these are the ones that you could see in the top 16 still if we get any kind of adversity. And then Dofi, so the other 8, he's he's probably 4 to 5 if we're going by that math. And then maybe we get a couple of those and a 1 or 2 of these. Shanks probably won't have as big of representation in the top 16, but I think he wins it. So I know I threw out math for this fun time. What do you think of the predictions? Who do you think wins it? Who do you think's in the finals? Let me know in the comments. Peace out, guys.